Hello and welcome back all of you my dear students. So today we are going to start our new lesson. Now the next chapter is dealing with how seasons occur. I mean this chapter. So first of all I will give you general terms and I will explain you about seasons. I hope you remember it from the first lesson that we have studied in our classes. It is about the season and what are the things that causes different season on our earth. Now let's say first of all, like not let's say, I know that all of you are aware of what different seasons are present, or what different seasons do we get to feel, or do we get to experience in an entire year on our earth, right? So you all know that there are three major seasons, that is, first is the winter, then is the summer, and it is rainy season. Like I am telling you about from starting of January towards the end of the December, right? So all these three different seasons are kind of staying on our earth for 3 to 4 months, accurately, not accurately, sorry, approximately, right? So what we have to learn in this particular lesson is that how these seasons change and what are the different factors that affect all the different changes in this season. Now, what is the reason for us experiencing winter season with very cold temperatures and dry air, and again the sun is here and there in the sky? Like I will explain you about why sun goes from one place to another place in the sky. And again the next thing is after winter season you again experience summer, and summer is exactly opposite of winter, right? You might experience a lot of heat in this particular season, and you will get uneasy while sweating, right? You might have experienced that thing. You always need a fan in this season, right? If I am right, then you can feel that yes, winter is exactly opposite. Like in winter we will wear thick clothes, we will not even think about bathing in the bathroom, because you see everyone gets kind of the psychology of the people is affected very much with the season that they go through, right? Like let's get into the psychology later on, but first of all let's discuss about the seasons. So the third season is rainy season, and I hope when the rain arrives it feels very pleasant, but after some times when it gets regular you might feel that you are getting a little bit some of the different problems due to all this rain. Okay, if the rain is more, or it is in excess than it is required to us. So all of these things we will study in our 8th chapter, that is how seasons occur. Now in India we get to see these particular seasons in entire year. Okay, starting from the spring, then we get to see summer, then we get to see monsoon, then autumn, then pre-winter, and again winter, like cold winter in the Decembers. So spring is what we get to see after the Makar Sankrant, and again the Grishma Ritu, it means the summer season that we get to see during all this March and that time after that. Then monsoon is the favorite one that we all know, it gives us rain, and we have to again see that this is used for the agriculture and all those things, because water will help us to grow the plants. Then again in autumn there is a slight change, because it gets a little bit hot after the monsoon. And again in pre-winter, as you know, the Diwali season is the starting of the pre-winter or the winter season, and by the time we see Christmas, we see that there is full-fledged cold weather on our planet. So that is what it is called as winter season. Now, first of all, we have to recap of what we have learned in our 6th standard. Now, I will show you one photograph regarding the topic that I am going to explain you right now. So let's get right to it. We are going to see what are the important parallels of the globe. Let us get right into our chapter now. So as you know, Earth is kind of like this, and we know that the globe is spherical shape. So in the middle there is a line drawn that bisects the Earth into two equal hemispheres, that is north and the southern hemisphere, and that line it is called as the equatorial line. Okay, simply we call it as equator. Then there is a line that is drawn on the north of the equator and also at the south of the equator at equal distance. Okay, there are two lines that are drawn on equidistant, like they are at about 23.5 degrees in the north and the southern direction, and the name of the line that is drawn on the north side is the Tropic of Cancer. Okay, so 23.5 degree north is Tropic of Cancer, and as opposed to that 23.5 degrees south is Tropic of Capricorn. Next is the 66.5 degrees in the north direction and the 66.5 direction 5 degrees in the south direction. So there are again these two lines. So these two lines, namely 66.5 degree in the north, it is called as Arctic Circle. Okay, Arctic Circle, and the one that is in the south direction at 66.5 degrees is called as Antarctic Circle. Okay, Arctic Circle and Antarctic Circle. And then at the 90 degrees you see there are 2 points in the both direction, north and the south. So these points are called as, the north point is called as North Pole and the southern point is called as the South Pole. Both of them are at 90 degrees from the equator. So this is all about important parallels. So this is the photo which shows all of these particular parallels that we have just discussed on the Earth. Now you have to remember that this Tropic of Cancer, this equator, first of all the equator is the center point or the line that we have drawn for reference on our Earth's globe, so that we could measure the different particular distances from the center towards the northern side and the southern side, as I just explained you. So you have to remember that these 23.5 degrees and 23.5 degrees in both direction, north and south, these are the two important parallels that we have to study in this chapter, because these are the places where the sun is at the maximum perpendicular direction. So later on you will get to know how the sun goes from Tropic of Cancer towards the Tropic of Capricorn when I will explain you about the tilt. But right now you have to remember that these few parallels are going to help us in order to determine which type of season we will get to see in which type of place regarding the sun is on these parallels. Now, why all these things are important for us to remember? Because you see, this particular Tropic of Cancer, equator, and then Tropic of Capricorn, these are the marks that we have to remember that are going to help us determine what type of season do we get to see in the northern hemisphere and what type of season do we get to feel in the southern hemisphere at a particular point of the year, by looking at the position of the sun or the distance from of the sun from all these different particular parallels. Okay, parallels, or we also call it as latitudes. So this is what we have to remember. Again, there is the second thing. Again, I will show you one picture regarding that, and I will explain you upon that. So let's get right toward the photo. Now, this particular image is showing us the distance between the earth and the sun. Now, as all of you know that earth is moving in an elliptical orbit around the sun, you can see that both of the extreme points of this our earth in this orbit will show us different distance from the sun. So on the right side and on the left side, both of the distances are different. You can see on the right side the earth is little bit closer to the sun, and on the left side you can see it is a little bit away from the sun. Now the distance you can see as it is 147 million kilometers on the right side, and the left side it is 152 million kilometers. So both of these things are again going to affect on the particular seasons that we are right now studying. So the position of the earth where it is near to the sun, this position is called as perihelion. Okay, perihelion, it means the nearest position of the earth towards the sun. And the second position you can see, which is away from the sun at 152 million kilometers, sorry, it is called as aphelion. Okay, aphelion or aphelion, sometimes people call it like that. So these are the two again different things that we have to consider while learning about these different seasons and how do they occur. Now the next thing, again, like today I am telling you a lot of things to remember. One thing again that is to remember is the tilt of our earth. Okay, you have to remember that, you have to remember this thing, because it is really important in determining all of the seasons that we are talking about. So I hope all of you know that our earth is tilted at its position. Okay, it is tilted about 23.5 degrees from its axis. So if something is rotating like this, okay, we will say that this is at very perpendicular, it is at 90 degrees. But when we say something is rotating like this, we will say it is a little bit tilted and then it is rotating. So our earth is tilted about 23 degrees, 23.5 to be exact, and then it is rotating on its position like this. Now here in this image, what do you get to see? That our earth is tilted at about 23.5 degrees. Like here they have written 23.4 degrees, but it's around that much only, right? So how did earth got tilted and how it is rotating around the earth in that way? So again, as all of you know that there are some asteroids that are coming on our earth, and while the formation of earth was going on, there were a lot of different factors, and all of the different asteroids that have hit the earth, these all have affected in this particular tilt. So that is how you see the tilt of the earth. And you see, regarding all this tilt we will study a little bit more in detail afterwards, but today it is just to show you that this particular tilt and all these other things are going to affect towards the seasons and the changes in the seasons due to all these three things. And due to all these three things, that is the Tropic of Cancer and all these latitude parallels. Okay, this one thing. Then the second thing, that is the position of this sun from the earth, or earth from the sun, that is aphelion or perihelion. And the third factor, that is the tilt of the earth. Now these three factors will determine all the seasons on our earth. So how does all these three things will affect all the seasons, that we will see in our next video. So until that, take care and have a nice week. Bye.